We will pay homage to the Buddhas by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. So we have to continue the jewel discourse again. So when we talk about the quality of the Buddha, how he has obtained all these qualities. So there are 4 types of Purana. Purana means fulfilling or fulfillment. Upasamadi Thana Paripurana, fulfilling the foundations of calmness. Upasama is actually, we call calmness or quietness. Although Thana or Dithana, actually this one is actually foundation. Purana means fulfilling or fulfillment. So Bodhisattva has to fulfill the Bharami, fulfilling the foundations of calmness. So in every kind of mental power or mental quality, when we are going to develop or when we are going to fulfill, we need good association, good companions, or good teachers, good Dhamma friends. It will be easier for us to fulfill. For example, now we want to meditate, but environment is very noisy. We cannot calm down our minds. So we need many other supporting causes. The Bodhisattva had already fulfilled all these foundations of calmness. Panya Dithana Paripurana. Panya is wisdom. Dithana means foundation. Purana means fulfillment or fulfilling. Fulfilling the foundations of wisdom. Actually, we have many different foundations of wisdom, many different causes of wisdom. Recently, I have read one suttas from Khuddaka Nikaya. So among the foundations or among the fulfillment, actually we must also believe in the path we are going to go, and also that you can say like the aim of the goal we're going to obtain, which means we must believe our ability, our power to achieve our aim. So when we are going to fulfill wisdom, we need this kind of mind power, that kind of confidence. So in the same, now, as I have mentioned before in Upasama, now also when we are going to fulfill the foundations of wisdom, we must also have good associates, good companion, or good friends, or good teachers. When we talk about developing wisdom faculties, we also have to know one more thing about profound Dhamma. When we study profound Dhamma, or when we listen profound Dhamma, our wisdom faculties will become stronger. This is also one of the foundations. Then Jagadithana Paripurana, fulfilling the foundations of generosity. Jaga, sharing or offering or generosity. I think you may have known the foundations of Jaga, right? If we have confidence, if we have strong like Jirana volition, If there's a receiver, if there's a donations, sure, we can do jaga. So we also have to fulfill the foundations of generosity to achieve the quality as the Buddha obtained. Then Satchadithana Paripurana, fulfilling the foundations of truthfulness. So even this morning, I have already talked about truthfulness. Then I also have said, if we are truthful, all the plants and trees are medicine. We already said, right? So that means we must fulfill the foundations of truthfulness, which means at least we must have moral shame, moral fear, respecting ourselves, respecting our environment. Then when we have all these qualities, we can fulfill. So these are the fulfillment of the Buddha to achieve Buddha's quality. Similarly, we can also fulfill all these qualities to achieve higher level. Then we have next group about Usaya. Right? Next group. There are 3 types of Usaya accumulation. Punyusaya, the accumulation of meritorious deeds. So it refers to overall, superior, or excellence, or peerless. That means when we can accumulate very supreme wholesome deeds or very strong and powerful wholesome deeds, we become superior person. So we have many different types of meritorious deeds. We also have to understand it depends on our mind. There will be different quality of meritorious deeds, different quality of karma. We have already said many times, sometimes although we offer very big amount of donation, if we are unwise, we cannot get very strong and powerful kusala karma. Although we offer very small things, if we are wise, then we can get great benefit. So that means Bonyusaya, accumulating meritorious deeds, we call overall. That means when we are going to accumulate some wholesome deeds, this means we are upgrading our quality. Sometimes, for example, dana. Dana also can make our mind pure. Whenever we remember, if we can rejoice our dana, this is called Bonyusaya. Similarly, sila, morality. If we have confidence with our morality, we are accumulating meritorious deeds. Similarly, meditation. If we are trying properly, the right way, following the right path, then this is also Bonyusaya. Okay, briefly, in the sense of Bonyusaya, we have many, many wholesome deeds. What about wholesome deed or meritorious deeds we accumulate? This is called Bonyusaya. It makes us excellent, better, or pure, or greater. 2, Panyusaya, the accumulation of wisdom. Here we call Varanyu. Actually, Vara means superiority, superior, or better, or excellent, great. New means knowing. So that means we have to know many things, great things. For example, like a Four Noble Truths, sure, it's the great one. If we can understand Four Noble Truths, then we are practicing Vipassana deeds. Then when we can realize Four Noble Truths with past knowledge, future knowledge, it becomes stronger. So yesterday we have already talked about this one, right? Past and future knowledge take Nirvana as objects. How it becomes Four Noble Truths. Yesterday we have talked about the simile of candlelight, right? it will consume the wax, the flame will consume the wax and wick. At the same time, it will remove the darkness. It will produce brightness. Similarly, path and fruition knowledge will know only the Nibbana, but it also spoils all the defilements. It also know the noble truth of suffering. We have already practiced Noble Eightfold Path. It has done all 4 types of functions at the same time. So similarly now, when we talk about accumulation of wisdom, it's actually, in the previous stanza, we call what I knew, right? It will be many different types. So we may have many different levels of wisdom. But here in this case, what about the Buddha? When we talk about what I knew, this means knowing Nibbana. So in this stanza, we can also learn the Panyusaya, accumulation of wisdom. The Buddha has already accumulated wisdom. Then 3, the Rupaya Usaya, accumulation of both material deed and wisdom, Varidor. That means the giver of Nibbana. So these are also Buddha's quality. Now we may practice all previous one, Buddhana or Usaya. So the practice of Dhamma can be different according to the practitioner's wish. So they may practice to become the Buddha, Pajika Buddha, disciples, according to their aspiration. So in the case of the Buddha, he practiced all these things, Buddhana or accumulation, fulfillment or accumulation, to become the Buddha. So now in our conditions, we can also practice to attain headship. So we can use Dhamma jewel for any purpose, right? Also, we have many other purposes of meditation. In modern society, it's very, very messy. In Asia, almost all the meditators, we just meditate for our improvement. We just want to improve some meditation methods, like attaining jhana or nimitta or something like that. But there are many traditions in Western country just for relaxing, to calm down their minds, to develop their emotional intelligence. There are many ways, just calm down minds. They can subside their emotion. Good enough. They just feel peace, bliss. It's good enough for them. They don't expect jhana or path of fruition knowledge or anything. That is different use of jewel of Dhamma. So anyway, we may have jewelry. We can bring anywhere, right? Also, we can use in any conditions. Similarly, when we have Dhamma jewel, we can use for any reasons, in any conditions. The main thing is that we must use all the time, as much as we can. So it will be the producing cause of Buddha, Vajika Buddha, or disciples, noble disciples. Okay, these come from Varo, Varanyu, Varado, Varharo, Anudaro, from that stanza. This is also the quality of the Buddha. So we can also have all these quality if we practice. Right? For example, Venerable Sariputta, he also delivered discourses. There are some devotees, some of his disciples, they can attain headship listening to Venerable Sariputta. Similarly, Venerable Mahamoggallana, Venerable Ananda, Venerable Mahakassapa, they have their disciples who could practice well and who could attain path and fruition knowledge, following their guideline. So this is called the jewel. In this stanza, actually, mainly we talk about Buddha's quality. Also, it also mentioned the quality of the Dhamma. Okay, now we have to move the last stanza. Khinam, Puranam, Navanati Sambhavam, Viradajita, Yachike Bhavasami, Tekhina Bija, Avirundi Chanda, Nipandi, Dira Yatayam Patipo, Idambi Samge Ratanam Panitam, etena satchena suvati hotu. So here Khinam Puranam, translated as their past karma is spanned. Their new karma is no more rises. Their minds to future becoming is unattached. Their germ of rebirth consciousness has died. They have no more desire for reliving. Those wise men fade out of existence as the flame of the lamp, which has just faded away. This Bishop's jewel is the Sangha. By this separation of the truth, may there be happiness. This is the translation of the stanza. So here we should say the Pali word Khinam Purana Navanati Sambhavam. Khinam, this means actually dry up, no more. Even this morning, or maybe yesterday, I'm not sure. That's the question. Well, for example, Venerable Ananda has already dry up his past karma, but he had to suffer, beaten by, tortured by bad people, bandits. So here in this case, their past karma is expanded. That means no more past karma. It doesn't mean all past karma has gone, no more result. That means their past karma that can produce their new life has gone. We have to understand that one, right? Be careful. I will repeat the one, right? Khinam Puranami, their past karma that can produce new life has gone. That means their karma cannot produce new life anymore. It can produce another result in this very life. This is called Khinam Purana. The Navanati Sambhavam, there's no more new karma. I have to explain that one now. After attaining arhatship, they also do dana. For our morality is okay because they have already attained an arhatship. They will not break any precepts. Okay, one more thing. This morning I also already talk about the mistake, right? Sometimes some Vinaya rules, unknowingly they may break. For example, Venerable Sariputta, he wear his underclothes, underrobes improperly. That is why one of the small Samnita approached him and remind him, Pandey, the way you wear is not in accordance with Vinaya. He arranged his robe. So that one is the only Panyati Vaja. As laid down by the Buddha, it became offense. Normally, nobody considers it as an offense. Also, he break that law unknowingly. It is no offense. So there will be some other offenses. That means, although we break the law unknowingly, this is offense. There is on some special cases. It's very limited, also not that much. Anyway, the main thing is that means Navanati Sambhavam. That means no more future, right? That means they will not accumulate any new karma. Then sila. This is not kusala actually. They are not doing for kusala. Their sila cannot produce their future existence. Similarly, they will meditate. They also can enter into fruition attainment. This is also not karma anymore. That karma cannot produce their future life. That means no more new karma. All the old karma that can produce new life has gone. That's why here Navanati Sambhavam. Now Yatike Bhava Same. Sorry? Vidada Cheta Yatike Bhava Same. Okay, maybe next page. Vida, huh? Vija seat. Okay, this one. Actually, only a few, right? So Viradaji Dajatiki Bhavasame, that means they have no attachment to any new lives or new existence. Te Khina Vija Avidoni Chanda, Khina Bija, seeds. That means they have already spawned the seed. So for example, now we may have seeds. Okay, one chestnut, yeah, chestnuts. Okay, they are you are buying chestnuts. You cannot plant anymore. Spawn already. You find another tree. You collect. You're trying to plant. It will grow, but is it? There is a potentiality to grow, right? After boiling, no more, because you have already spawned. Similarly, Arhat has already spawned the potentiality of rebirth. Tekina Bija Avidoni Chanda. Also, they don't have any desire to be reborn. But sometimes we have attachments to our life. If we don't wish to become somebody or something, we don't wish to be. This attachment. Now, no more desire. Now here we have say, the karma is the seed to be reborn in the future existences. Right? They mentioned the one. Then in this stanza, we have one statement. Tirayatayam Batipo. Yeah? Batipo. That means Batipa means candlelight or wine lamp. When we talk about Batipa, this is okay, lightening. But ancient time we just use wine lamp. That's why we just say Batipa is a wine lamp. We translate as a wine lamp. Okay, now modern community, we can also say candlelight. It will be easier for example, right? Okay, we have to know one more thing about Arhat Namarupas. Many times we also ask, when Arhat enter Nirvana, okay, their body remain here. Where their namas go? The mentality, where his mentality is gone? In the future life, even this morning, they have a question. For example, can they hear my Tamato? For example, Buddha can hear my Tamato or something like that. That kind of question came this morning. Actually, after Arhat passed away, entering Nirvana, no more nama in the future. No, this means it just means about we just give here a simile of a candlelight. So we have three things that can produce a life. We can also say three vata in Pali, Tivata, or 3 rounds of reverse. We can say 3 rounds. The first one is Kilesavata, defilements. So when we have defilements, there will be Kama Vata. We will accumulate many Kama. If there's a Kama Vata, then it will produce Vipaka Vata, results. So when we have the result, we're going to satisfy the result. When we have one more Vipaka Vata, Kilesa Vata again. So 3, right? Vipaka Vata, we're going to satisfy Kilesa Vata again. Kama, Vipaka, Kilesa, going around. This is called Vata. So in the case of Arhats, no more defilements. Why we had to be reborn? When we had defilements, that's why we had to be reborn. No more attachments. We cannot be reborn anymore. That's why after eradicating all defilements, then we can say no more kilesa, then no more karma. That is why, although they are doing many things in this very life, whether good or bad, is no more new karma. It cannot produce new life anymore. We just say only Kriya Chitta, you know? Anyway, when we talk about this, then we have to know about, or we have to return to previous one. The candlelights, okay. We should not talk about wine lamp, right? Candlelights, it will be easier for you. In the candlelight, you can see the wax and the wick. If we lit, there's a flame. So the flame will consume both wick and wax. Gradually, it will become shorter and shorter. Finally, no more wax, no more wick. The flame also disappears. We cannot know where the flame goes. Similarly, if there's no karma, no kilesa, no more vipaka. New life is a vipaka. In one life, we start with vipaka. It's all the new life is produced by our karma and kilesa. So now no more kilesa, no more karma that can produce future life. Then no more life, no more vipaka. That's the simile of candlelight or wine lamp. When we talk about wine lamp, I don't think in Singapore you can find this kind of things, right? Wine lamp, actually, we just use some cotton buds. We just like a cotton wicks, cotton. We just make cotton, interlaced cotton. We just make wicks. Also, we keep, okay, for example, this cup, we can put wine onto the cup. We just dip, and then we will make some floating. For floating, we just use some, like a zinc or something, some material. Then just burn the wicks. It will, it will lick the wicks, then it will burn. It will be similar. The fire will consume wicks and wine. So gradually, no more wicks, no more wine. Then the flame disappears. That's why here I mentioned Nibandi Didaya Tayam Patipo, Nibandi, extinguish or fade away, like wine lamp. So this is the attainment of Nibbana. That means this is pre-Nibbana moment. So in this Ratanasutta, the last stanza is about Arhat qualities. So in the very beginning of Ratanasutta, about Sangha's quality, we also have talked about other noble persons, also Sotapanna. After that, we have to come to Buddha's quality. Then we also have to talk about now Sangha qualities again. Khinam Buddha now, right? Okay, now move the next one. Yanida Buddhani Samagatani, Bhumani wa Yani wa Andalike, Tathagatan, Devamanusa Bujita, Buddha Namasama Suvati Hotu. Whatever beings, non-humans are assembled here, terrestrial or celestial, come, let us salute the Buddha, the Tathagata, the perfect one, honored by gods and men. May there be happiness. This was not taught by the Buddha. This is recited by Kensaka. So in that assembly, Kensaka was also there. He was listening. You may remember the story of Ratanasutta, right? The Buddha delivered the discourse in Vesali. At night, when Venerable Ananda came back from all over the city, after chanting Parita all over the city, came back to the assembly hall. Many bhikkhus are waiting there. Also many devotees also there. Then many of devas come from many different universes. And they are listening to assembly. Kensaka also attends. So he was listening, Ratanasutta. At the end, he just recited the last 3 stanzas. So here we have to talk about Tathagata, Yanida Buddha Samagatani, Pumane Yaniwa, Andalike. These are just encouraging devas. Tathagata and Devamanusa Bujitam. Tathagata. This Pali word is a very, very common in Pali text. Actually, we have very, very long explanation of Tathagata when we study Silakana commentary. Also in Buddhist Samhita also we can find the explanation. Not only in these two texts, actually many other texts, we can also find Tathagata. Very minor in many very minor details. Then we also have to, I have to explain Tathagata. What does it mean Tathagata? Only three is enough, right? I will say only three. The first one is Tatha and Agata. Tatha means truth. Agata, we can say like Gata means talking. Truth talker. We can also say this was Tathagata. Now the Tatha Agata. Tatha means as previous Buddha come to this world by fulfilling paramis, he also came to this world fulfilling parami. This is also called Tathagata. Another one is also we can say Tathagata the same things, but that means he just say as he does. He does as he say. This is also called Tathagata. Okay, there are many other meanings. So roughly we can understand this is me Buddha. Okay, Tathagata, Devamanusa Buddhita. So honor by divine beings and also human beings. Buddha Namasama Suvati Hotu. Namasama, we will pay homage to the Buddha actually. Right? We will pay homage to the Buddha. Then after that, Suvati Hotu, may there be happiness. The next page. Yanita Buddhani Samagatani, Bumani wa Yani wa Andalike, Tathagadan, Devamnusa Buddhita, Dhamma Namasama Suvati Hotu. Whatever beings are assembled here, terrestrial or celestial, come, let us salute the perfect Dhamma, honored by gods and men. May there be happiness. For about the Buddha, Tathagata is okay, right? For about Dhamma, what does it mean Tathagata? That means, in this case, Tatha also, we can say truth. Kata also can say reach or go or know. Right? So that means we can take Nibbana as an object. We can know that Dhamma by special knowledge. That knowledge is also honored by Devas and man. This also can be considered as a Tathagata. Actually, there are many other explanations about Tathagata. The main thing is we can take Nirvana as an object with special knowledge. Right? So that is called Tathagata. Then, the last one. Yanita Buddhani, Samagatani, Kumani wa Yani wa Andalike, Tathagadan Devamanusa Buddhita, Sanganama Sama Suvati Hotu. Whatever beings are assembled here, terrestrial or celestial, come let us salute the perfect Sangha, honored by gods and men. May there be happiness. So here, when we talk about Yanita Buddha and Samagatani, these are very simple as we have learned before. Again, here also use Tathagata. Sangha is also Tathagata. So that means as the Buddha know the truth, they also know the truth. Tathagata. Gata also can say reach or know. So as the Buddha reach noblehood, or the Buddha attain noblehood, they also attain noblehood. As the Buddha know noble truth, here they also know noble truth. That's why they are also called Tathagata. Mostly in this Ratanasutta, it just mentioned many things, just the quality of noble Sangha, right? That's why all the noble Sangha has experienced Nibbana as the Buddha has known. So these three stanzas are recited by Kim Seka in the assembly, in this assembly. Then again, actually, I have to say the one in the very beginning of the Ratanasutta. In Myanmar tradition, we have introduction to the sutta. Actually, that one can be found in commentary. But Myanmar scholar combine most of them into stanza. Then mostly we have to chant in the very beginning of the Ratanasutta. Actually, in Power Daily Chants, when you read, you can also find 2 additional stanzas in every single suttas. In Mangala Sutta also 2 additional stanzas. Also Metta Sutta also 2 additionals. Almost all the suttas, the 2 additional stanzas. These are composed by Myanmar scholar. Actually, we also have many other later versions. For example, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. In Power Daily Chant, we don't have that 2 stanzas actually. Also, we have 2 additional stanzas. It's composed by Sayadaw Ubbo. Also, under Lakkhana Sutta, also we have 2 more stanzas. Introduction. Okay, now I have to continue talking about introduction to Ratanasutta in Myanmar tradition. I should talk about it in the very beginning. Okay, so now move to, I think, very long Pali. Panidana do pataya tathagatatsa dasa paramiyo dasa upa paramiyo dasa paramata paramiyo ti samadinsa paramiyo pancha mahaparicake lakata chariyan nyatata chariyan buddhata chariyanti tiso chariyayo pachima bhavi kabahokanti jate binikamanam padana chariyan bori palanke maravichayan sabanyutanyana pativetan Dhammacakkappavattana nawa lokutara dhammeti sabbepi me buddha guni avachatawa Yanja Vesaliya Pure, Vesaliya Tisu Bakarandaresu, Tiyama Rati, Britan Karando, Ayasama Ananda Tiroya, Karunya Chita Ubatapetova. This is the first part. There are 2 more stanzas actually. This is really introduction. Very long composition. We can find this passage in the commentary. Okay, translation. Very long. Having reflected upon all the virtues of the Buddha, becoming from the time of his aspiration for Buddhahood, in the presence of Buddha Dipankara, actually there was a translation of Panidhanato Pataya. Panidhana but many not clear. So we have to add many words to translate. So he practiced the 30 perfections comprising 10 ordinary perfections, dasa paramiyo, 10 superior perfections, dasa upa paramiyo, 10 supreme perfections, dasa paramata paramiyo. But in the workings of karma, we use different terms. Dasa paramiyo is a standard parami, standard perfection. Dasa upa parami is median perfection. Dasa paramata parami is the ultimate perfection. We translate like that. It's a little bit close to the Pali. Also, the 5 sacrifices, the 3 modes of practicing, comprising the practice for the welfare of the world, for the welfare of relatives, and for the benefit of Buddhahood, and his last lives, after that, taking conception in his mother womb, his birth, renunciation, practice of austerity, victory over Mara, 5 kinds of evil under the Bodhi tree, to the realization of omniscience, turning the wheel of the truth, and the 9 Subramanian states. So this actually, the Buddha reflects all these things before he explained Ratanasutta. Actually, we have already talked about this. When we are going to tell the truth, we have to say something true we have done in the past. That we can determine to become something. Similarly, now the Buddha just reflects upon all his virtues, his parami, sacrifice, practice. Also, he also revealed how his life started from the rivers up to turning the wheel of the Dhamma. So after that, moved to Venerable Ananda. Venerable Ananda, the era, had compassionately recited the protected discourse of Ratanasutta throughout the 3 watches of the night within 3 walls of Vesali city. I have already said there are 3 walls, maybe 1 yojana, far from one wall to another wall. Within all these walls, Venerable Ananda go around, recite Parita, also sprinkle blessed water. That as Venerable Ananda did, may we recite this Parita. This is really introduction. See why I have to bring this topic here. Jewel, we already say, Dunlava Dasana, very rare opportunity to see real jewel. Also, we already mentioned, Chiti Katam, it make our mind please, satisfy. Also, it's a high value, high price. It's incomparable. It's really very difficult to get, difficult to possess. Then only high class can use jewel. So we have to know how high our jewel, especially Buddha's jewel. That's why I just bring this topic here. Okay, the next page. Dasa Parami, your 10 standard perfections. I think you have already known the perfections. So what does it mean, standard perfection? So if we offer external things, it's called standard perfections. Of course, whenever we talk about perfections, we must not forget about compactions and skill. We call Mahakaruna, great compaction, Ubaya Kosala, skill and fulfillment, or fulfilling perfections. Sometimes we are fulfilling parami, we are not very skillful. It's not that effective. You can practically experience in your practice. If we are skillful, we can focus on the breath easily, comfortably. If we are unskillful, not that much comfortable. Not that much improvement. Similarly, when Buddha was fulfilling perfections, he was skillful in fulfilling. He also has very strong compassion towards living beings. Then again, Dasa Upa Paramiyo, 10 medium perfections. What does it mean, medium perfection? So medium perfection is come from our body. For example, now, modern society, blood donation, for example. It comes from our body. There will be some internal organs they may offer. It can be Upaparami. Right? Also, eyes. Right? But actually, many organs in our body. Many things, right? We can offer. This is also called standard parami, medium perfections. Dasa Paramata Parami. Sometimes we have to give up our life to helping other people. This is called Paramata Parami. Sometimes one has to give up his life after donation, you know? That kind of things. This is called ultimate perfections. Here I just talk about Dana Parami. Similarly, Sila Parami. We have many different degrees of Sila Paramis. Actually, we have talk about Sila in Visuddhimagga class. Many already, more than enough already, right? Anyway, I have to review some parts, not all right, only some parts for this the 3 types of perfections in morality. You may remember we had different intent point of morality. That means why people break the law or break the precepts. Okay, we have Labha, Yasa, Anga, Jivita. 4. We have one types of body, Labha, Priyanta. Their morality were ends in gain. That means for gain, they will break precepts. For earning, they will break precepts. This is the first thing, right? That's it. Yasa. Yasa also can be fey. Yasa also can be companions, associates, friends, also family members, relatives, or can be considered yasa. Sometimes we break precepts for our family or friends or associate, companions, something like that. Colleagues also possible, right? If we break precept, sure, this is called their morality is NN yasa. We have to remember these two. So if we are breaking these two, we are not fulfilling standard perfection. If we can overcome, if we can fulfill parami in any situation, although many of our relatives complain us, keep fulfilling, right? Then this is called standard perfections. Also, although we cannot earn anymore, we keep observing precepts. That means this is standard morality. Second one is anga. We can say organs or body parts. For example, somebody will frighten us, right? If you threaten us, right? If you tell the truth, I will cut your tongue, for example. We still tell the truth. We can say this is called medium perfection. We have some sacrificing from our body. This is called Dasa Upaparami. It's a Upaparami. Of course, sometimes we have to sacrifice our life. I think when I was talking about Sila, I also have talked about one bhikkhu from Bali school. As far as I remember, mostly I talk about him. When somebody say, if I cannot give precept, what shall I do? For example, they have this kind of question. Then it depends on how we value. If we think morality is more important, we will follow morality. If we know money is more important, we will follow money. It's very simple, right? So similarly for Bodhisattva, earning is not that important for them. Even their lives are not very important for fulfilling parami. They will sacrifice with their life. So that's one. Okay, one bhikkhu. He was from the Bali school. As he was learning, at the same time he was practicing Tutanga. I have never thought that kind of thing will happen in current in modern society. You know, learning school is more terrible. That means we have to study, reciting. We get tired. In the evening, very, very tired already. Finally, he got some stomach problem. So he was sent to the hospital. The doctor also recommended him to lie down. He practiced all the Tutanga. He didn't lie down. Doctor also scolded him. Also, about food also only 1 meal. Although he can take only 1 spoon, it doesn't matter. If somebody say take away, he will not take anymore. Like this, very strict. The doctor also scold him. Actually, the doctor has a lot of compassion. That's why he scold. His doctor, right? He has doctor mind. This is normal. Then he scold him. He didn't think about it. Just keep practicing Tutanga. He passed away in the hospital. That happened in Mandalay. I thought in the Bali school, we don't have that kind of Dutanga practitioners. Recently, not recently, maybe around 2005, 2006, maybe around that time. One time I mostly, whenever I came to Yangon, I visited one Bali school. Sometimes I spent overnight there. This in Yangon, another Bali school. I have never thought Bali teacher will practice Dutanga. You know? Actually, he's a junior to me. At midnight, I have to wake up. I wake up. I also have to go to the restroom. I found he was sitting because we don't have any accommodation, you know. So all the people have to sleep in the hall. I saw him sitting. I thought, oh, he just wake up because of me, right? But in the early morning, we are going to chant. So I also get up. So I see him still sitting there. Next time, I came to I go to the same monastery again. The same thing happened. Later, I didn't ask him directly. I just asked some of his friends, is he practicing Dutanga? Yes, he is practicing Dutanga. He didn't sleep at night. You know, he just sits whole night without lying down. But in the morning, he can still teach him Bali. He's a Bali teacher. So we have that kind of things. You know, sometimes they don't care their conditions. They just care of their practice. They also know this is useful. That gradually, I learn. You know, I learn many of bhikkhus in the Bali school also practicing some Dutangas. I come to know many bhikkhus are doing the same things. Unfortunately, one bhikkhu in Mandalay passed away. Okay, this is a special case. That means when we talk about Paramatha Parami, sure, we can understand here's a Paramatha Parami. His Parami is stronger than ordinary people. We can guess how strong his Parami. So when we really encounter difficulty, we can know how strong our Parami. When we are normal, we don't know. We don't know, right? Our Parami. How strong our Kanti, we don't know. So anyway, this is called Paramatha Parami. If we have to sacrifice our life for morality or any other paramis, this means it's Paramatha Parami. So another one is Pancha Mahaparicchaga, 5 great sacrifices. Also, here I am just write down. These 5 great sacrifices are also related to the perfections. In brief, there are only 2 sacrifices. Sacrifice with himself, including his life, or sacrifice with external belongings, including his family. So I think the modern community cannot accept some of sacrificing. For example, Bodhisattva offer his son and daughter, his wife, you know. Modern community, they will not accept that kind of offering. Like a slavery, human trafficking, right? Also, another thing is, when we talk about the sacrificing, it must be useful for receiver. This is the one thing. So the Buddha also know, then he also know his punya, that the children will be safe. He knows, that's why he dare do that kind of things. Actually, when we are going to do dana, we must not harm anybody. Buddha himself say, without harming anybody, we must offer. When we talk about Sabbhurisa Dana Sutta, it will mention like that. Attananja, Paranja, Anubahaja, you know, we have this kind of statements. That means no competition, no harming, no torturing anybody, we can offer. So anyway, when we talk about sacrificing, actually many explanations about sacrificing in many different texts. Previously, I have talked about it one time in Pao Doya. Very messy. That's why I didn't write down. or in childhood, I just like for example, Dana Prichaga is like giving up his belonging properties. Also, we also like a Buddha Prichaga giving up his son and daughter. Priya Prichaga giving up his wife. Also, Anga Prichaga giving up his organs. Juda Prichaga giving up his life, something like that. But later, when I read, there are many other ways, other explanation more than that. It's very messy. So it will be very complicated to explain. All right? That's why I just use very simple way here. Only to simplify. It can be oneself, it can be external things. Okay? This is called Panchama Brichage. Then we also have 3 types of practice. The next one. Tiso 3 modes of practice. Sometimes people also ask me, what is the purpose of human being? What's the purpose of human life? You know, they have this kind of question. Whenever they ask, mostly I just use 3 words. Lokatacharya, practicing for the welfare of the world. That means we must do for the welfare of the world, for the welfare of everybody, or living things or non-living things, right? The Nyatacharya, practicing for the welfare of relatives. So here is very wise. Relatives. For example, we can say for the good of our community, for the good of our family. Actually, the one is very wise. Okay, for Singaporean, for the welfare of Singapore. This also can be considered Nyatacharya. Right? So that means we have to do for the welfare of our community, our environment, our friends, our families. These are our responsibilities. Now finally, Buddhacharya, practicing for the benefit of Buddhahood. Actually, when we talk about Buddha, you may have known the Pali word Buddha means knowing or awaken. That means we all are sleeping, right? That's why we have to wake up. Actually, when we know the truth, we wake up. If we don't know the truth, we're going to wake up. We're in the dark room. So, actually, I have already explained many things about Buddha in Wisdom class. One more thing here. What does it mean wake up? What does it mean awaken? Mostly we are sleeping, we are falling asleep with habits and hobby. This is the one thing. Another one is sensual pleasure. So that means when we are enjoying sensual pleasure, when we spend our time with our hobby and habits, this is also sleeping. Especially bad habits, you know? Bad habit and bad hobby. Then this is called sleeping. Also, when we are going to sleep, it must be in the dark room. It's moha, ignorance. So that means we spend our time with illusions, enjoying sensual pleasure, or spend our time with our hobbies, how we like, how we dislike, something like that. Then this is called sleeping. So the Buddha just wake up, penetrating noble truth. Then wisdom is opposite of moha, avijja. This is the brightness, the light. So the Buddha wake up the first. That's what we call Buddha. He wake up earlier than all other living beings. That means he knows the truth earlier than all other living beings. Okay, here we should also know that we must try to know the truth. This is the purpose of the life. The truth, what kind of truth? Of course, we have many different types of truth. Right? For example, like a Samudhi Satcha, conventional truth, Paramita Satcha, ultimate truth. But some of the truths are not that meaningful for our life. It cannot make us improve or develop. So we have to practice to know ultimate truth. This is the purpose of the life. So briefly, here we have 3 jariya we must do for the welfare of the world. We must do for the welfare of relatives or our environment or community. That we must do for our own attainment or knowledge. That's the purpose of the life. Okay, now the last part. When on occasion. So here, when I list out this one, actually everybody has to know all these things. Why I list out? I don't know when I can talk about Mangala Sutta in detail. Right? Now I'm giving Dhamma talk. I'm talking about Mangala Sutta to Indonesian group. I think 3 times already, I think. Anyway, although I explain all the things, but I cannot explain all the ingredients in the commentary because some of things are very messy. Okay, now here I use this body words. Kapa Hokante, Jate, Pinde Kamana, Pranachari and body panangi, something like that, right? Anyway. So let me Kapa Hokante, taking conception in the mother's womb. This very well-known occasion. When we talk about Sutta, you may have learned Ekan Samayam Bhagawa Sawatiyam, right? The one? At one occasion. Which occasion? Is the occasion when he take conception in the mother's womb? Or Jati, his rebirth? Abhindekamana, his renunciation? Ranajariya, practicing austerity? Maravijaya, vanquishing or victory of Mara? Then Samanyuta Jnana Pativeda, realization of omniscience, we can say Samanyuta Jnana. And then Dhammacakka Pavatana, turning the wheel of the Dhamma. These are the occasions, great occasions. Up to this part, we call this great occasions. So when we talk about Ekan Samaya, it's actually the occasion that the Buddha explained the discourse. We cannot say all these occasions. The Navalokutara Dhamma, I have already talked about Navalokutara Dhamma when we talk about the quality of the Dhamma, right? There are 4 parts and 4 fruition, altogether 8, or rather Nibbana, they are called Navalokutara Dhamma. That means 9 supramountain states. Karunya Citta, having compassion. So whenever Ananda has very strong compassion towards people in Vesali, that's why he chants whole night, going around Vesali within 3 walls. So these are actually introductions of Ratanasutta in Myanmar tradition. Actually, there are 2 more stanzas and skip, right? Anyway, this is the last part of today's Dhamma talk. So we have already learned Ratanasutta. We also have known what is it really called Ratana, jewel. We also have known Buddha's quality, Dhamma's quality, and Sangha's quality. We also have known the nature of noble persons, the nature of the Buddha, the nature of Arhat, the nature of the Dhamma. So Ratanasutta is just for protection. When the Buddha delivered that discourse, it's protections. But not only that, if we use other purpose, this is also possible. For example, we may use some Buddha's quality in the suttas. We can also do Buddha, recollecting Buddha's quality, Buddhanussati. Also recollecting some of Dhamma's quality. We can also do Dhammanussati. We can also do Sanghanussati, using all these formula in the suttas. So I have said, when we are going to chant Brita, we must have qualifying reciter, qualifying listener, that it will be effective, right? Okay, now as conclusion, Ratana is not ready-made. Although we have ready-made Ratana, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, we cannot see it with our naked eye. We must see it with our wisdom. For example, an Arhat, Although we are walking together with an arhat, we cannot know he's an arhat if he didn't reveal his identity. So that means when we can fulfill parami, or when we can learn properly, when we can practice properly, then we can attain noblehood. At the time, we ourselves become jewel. So sometimes we will carry many jewelry when we go here and there. Sometimes unsafe. But now all these jewels, Buddha's jewel, Dhamma's jewel, Sangha's jewel, keep in the heart. We can bring anywhere. As I have said many times, meditation does not belong to Paotoya. It's international use. You can bring meditation to your country. Similarly, this jewel, we can bring anywhere. We cannot, if we have got that jewel, we cannot keep aside anymore. It will be always with us. Only one thing, we use or we don't use. It depends on ourselves. So if we are going to use this jewel for the foundations of meditation, this is also possible. Then you have already known the meaning. When you wish to calm down your mind, you can also chant only one stanza to calm down your mind, also possible. So we can use in many ways. It depends on our wish. Okay? So if we wisely use the Buddha teaching, it will be beneficial for us. If we are unwise, it's not that much beneficial. So as a conclusion, may you all be able to use the Buddha teaching properly, wisely. May you all be able to practice diligently, effectively, and may you all be able to realize the final cessation and not suffering. Okay?
Yes, Sayadaw. Very grateful to Sayadaw's answering.
Okay.
He asked about the 8 conditions that cannot explain by the Paramattha Dhamma. Is it because that before the practicing of Nama Rupa, we cannot use this as this Paramattha? It is because it is Pubbapa Yoga. Means before arriving at this Nama Rupa Kammatthana, not knowing the Nama Rupa or not using the Nama Paramattha Dhamma to explain in the 8 conditions mentioned by Bande, the reason is this is for the practice of Pubbapa Yoga, of meditation.
We cannot say Pubbapa Yoga or meditation, right? People will misunderstand. Okay, not because of Pubbapa Yoga. If we, for example, if we say, right, Panatipata, I have explained many times, Panatipata, we have a wrong view, one of the wrong views you can find in some Pali texts. There's a one wrong view holder. I think he mentioned 7 elements, maybe. I think 7 elements he mentioned like that. This is not Buddhist idea, right? Not Buddhist point of view. This is their point of view. 7 elements, according to their teacher. So when somebody kill another living beings, using the knife, for example, right? He just say, 7 elements go into 7 elements. It's not killing. This is the way they explain. This is a wrong view, So that means if we use all the time, if we use the Namarupa all the time, as you say, as I have said this morning, sometimes it's our negligence, our faults. But we say, oh, it's a karma. No, that's not karma. That's a negligence. Right? This is negligence, not karma. So anyway, the main thing is sometimes it will mislead people. This is the one thing. It's not because of Pubbapa Yoga. It will mislead people. For example, we will use Namarupa all the time. Okay, now, practically, Namarupa is talking to Uddhacharupa. or many or nama rupas are listening. More nama rupas are listening, for example, right? No, we cannot say listening. Most of the nama rupas have Saudara Vichi, right? For example, who will understand? For those who has learned Abhidhamma, may know what it means, but the meaning is not very clear. If I say, Ukoda is giving Dhamma talks to Singaporean, people can know, right? Ukoda is giving Dhamma talk online, okay, they know. It's not Nama Rupa. Right? We cannot say Uddhacca Rupas because I'm using Uddhacca Rupa microphone and computer. Right? Also, online is also Uddhacca Rupas. We cannot say like this. So that means when we are going to communicate, don't use Nama Rupa. Okay, if I say openly, that's a silly thing to do. Okay?
Yes, Yado. How to know by himself he has already made wish to become Buddha or become Arahant? At night, he has a dream. In the dream, there is a sound talking to him, saying that if there is nobody in the world make wish to become Buddha, then in this world there won't be any Buddha appear. So he doesn't know what to do next.
I cannot clear.
I reverse the question.
Okay.
How to know he himself already made wish to become a Buddha or become an Arahant? Because he has a dream. In the dream, there is one sound talking to him, saying that if there is no one make wish to become a Buddha, then in this world there won't be any Buddha appear. So now he doesn't know what to do, whether he has in the past already made wish to become a Buddha or become an Arahant.
Actually, this is a dream. Okay, dream is a dream. So Buddha who does not come from the dream is come from practical practice. Okay, you have to check whether you can really fulfill parami or not. This is the only one thing you have to consider. Okay. Next one.
尊敬的霞多，请问霞多
says that Hiri-ottappa is respecting oneself and respecting others. May Sayadaw please, by using an example, to explain what does this respect means in this context.
Okay. We can say like Hiri-ottappa is a proximate cause of morality. The respect is the proximate cause of Hiri-ottappa. For example, Atta Gharava, we will respect ourselves. We may have Hiri, moral shame. For example, I'm now older, right? In my age, I should not behave like a teenager. Think about my age. I feel shame. This is called moral shame. I should not do like teenager. I should not wear like teenager. This is called moral shame. Respecting our age. Respecting ourselves also. There is that knowledge. I'm a knowledgeable. I should not do like ordinary people, uneducated people. Respecting our own ability, our own quality. We avoid doing wrong things. This comes from respect. We can say moral shame. What about respecting other people? This is also a proximate cause of moral fear. For example, if I do some mistakes, my mother will be unhappy. If I do some mistake, my father will be unhappy. This is also respect. And not only that, when we talk about, if I do like this is not what the Buddha prays. Also, we may have some Dhamma friends. If I do this kind of mistakes, my Dhamma friends will not associate with me. Moral fear. Then what does it mean moral fear again? Moral fear means, it doesn't mean we are frightened by something or somebody. We just hesitate to do wrong things. We are unwilling to do something wrong. This is called moral fear. Moral shame also the same. When we have moral shame, we are unwilling to do something bad, something wrong. We will hesitate to do something wrong. This is called moral shame or moral fear. Okay? The next one.
Dear Sayadaw, if someone make wish in the Buddha to become the Mahasawaka of one Buddha, so and he tried to accumulate parami for a long time, but after that in this life he made decision to change this wish. He wished to be free from the samsara as soon as possible. So what should he practice in order? 如此如以观察来 For example, by using vipassana kammatthana in order to stop the past wish to become a mahasawaka. Oh, okay, I revert again. Means in the past already
I
make
can
wish.
understand. Okay, I can
Okay.
understand. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay, and then second part of question. In the past already accumulate the parami. In this parami, would that support him to become an arahant?
Okay. So if you wish to become ordinary disciple, normal arhat, for example, now in the very beginning, you make aspiration to become great disciple or chief disciple, right? Now you also feel something, like some sense of urgency now, right? That's when you wish to become arhat immediately in this very life. Of course, if you give up previous wish, previous aspiration, it's possible to change. You don't need to do anything, just change your mind. Determine again, I will give up previous aspiration. Finish. Okay? So this is very simple. Okay? Second part.
Second part, those parami that he has accumulated when he wished for Mahasawaka, would that support him to become an arahata in this life?
Okay. So that means supporting cause can be any karma, right? It's possible for supporting cause. Actually, you must try for producing cause now. Right? If you wish to attain Nibbana in this very life, don't think about supporting causes. You must do producing cause now. Right? If you are mature enough, sure, supporting cause will come naturally. Okay? All the supporting causes are unseen. Don't expect the one. Okay? Producing cause is more practical. Do the one. Okay, this one?
Question 24. Dear Sayadaw, when the Bodhisattva offers his body parts or life, he may experience bodily pain. What was his mindset in order dosa not arise at that time?
Okay. So it depends on mind, right? We can only Bodhisattva's mind. So one more thing. I will give you one example. Okay? You may have small little boy. A few months old boy, you have a kid, for example. Then when you are playing with your small little boy, I mean, he or she will pull your hair, your hairs. You may feel pain. Do you get angry? It depends on what kind of mother or what kind of father you are. Right? Similarly, when he fulfilled parami, he loved parami more than his only son or daughter. It's impossible. I think it's very simple simile, right? Okay, I think even in this hall, many of parents here, right? When you are child is young, he or she will pull your hair, pull your ears, also hit you in many different ways. It will be pain, but you may not get angry because you love. Similarly, Bodhisattva love parami more than his family, no matter whatever case arises in him. Bodhisattva love parami more than his body. That's why he dare do this kind of things. Don't imagine dosa in this kind of case. Okay?
Question 25. Dear Sayadaw, Sayadaw explained about Tiso Chaliyayo, the three modes of practice.
Sure.
Why is there no practice for the benefit of oneself?
Okay, actually, Buddha Acharya said for oneself. If we know truth, we can live peacefully. This is for ourselves. Right? Bodhidharma is for ourselves. Okay? Next one.
Question 26. Dear Sayadaw, in modern terms, there are IQ and EQ. Can we say that IQ is more related to one's wisdom and EQ is more related to one's divine abiding?
So, what's the main question? Actually, there are many other Q, AQ. Other sitting question, right? Right? There are so many other Q. I have known, right? So, what's the main purpose? Can we say, right? IQ is more related to wisdom. We cannot say wisdom. This is like a, this is like a memory, memorizing, EQ is related to divine abidance. We cannot say divine abidance, right? EQ is related to more trained minds. Okay, that means when we have IQ, we can learn many things. When we have EQ, we can train our mind easily. We can understand like that. Okay.
Thank you, Sayadaw. May I ask, when is a suitable time for a practitioner to use Paramattha, Nama Rupa to overcome one's defilement?
When we have to
overcome
defilements, okay.
Our defilements. When is a suitable time?
Okay, suitable time for
overcoming defilements for a practitioner.
For practitioner.
Using Nama Rupa.
Using Nama Rupas. Very high quality already, right? Okay. So it depends. We cannot say exactly, right? For example, when we have dosa, there are many ways to overcome dosa. Okay, I will give one example. For example, by radiating metta. Then we can also continue practicing metta jhana, metta nama rupa, so forth. We can also continue vipassana like that. This is also the way. Karuna, compassion, mudita, sympathetic joy, upekha, equanimity. We can use all these things as a foundations of vipassana. At the same time, we can also overcome dosa. This is the one thing. There are many other ways, sometimes we just review, we just think about nama rupas. For example, you were angry with somebody, for example, right? Okay, the person I have got angry with is already past. Nama rupa already passed already. Now it's a new person. Right? What I have to do? Right? No existing person, no existing living beings. This is also one way. So there are many other ways to overcome dosa by using practice. Similarly, lobha. So by practicing asubha or 32 body parts, we can also overcome lobha. For example, 32 body parts. We just use head hair, for example. Then by focus on the head hair, we can feel repulsives. We can also take the first jhana. Based on that, we can also continue vipassana, descending nama rupa and so forth. This is also one way. Right? There are many other ways, okay, about repulsiveness. Then, okay, what about lobha? There are also other practice, such as descending 4 elements. Just think about 4 elements. We don't have attachment to living things or non-living things. Right? The more we understand, the more we clearly know the 4 elements, the less attachment we have. This is a rupa. After that, we can go to rupa meditation, nama meditation, so forth. There are many ways to overcome, but we must have very strong foundation. Right? It sounds simple, but not that easy. Okay?
Thank you, Bhante. So, Bhante has explained. Yeah, I understand 90%. Okay, all this comes down to the 3 characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta. So, it is like a summary, right?
Okay, so it will be a little bit different situation. Okay, for example, when we have a dukkha, should less attachment. We cannot say all anicca, dukkha, anatta, right? So, for example, we have one practice, nikanti priya dana. That one is to overcome lobha. attachment. When we know all the things are suffering, when we have less attachment, negative priyadana, right? We also like a mana, okadana. When we are too proud, we're proud of ourselves too much. Of course, when we are too proud, we can say, anicca, impermanence. If we know everything impermanence, how are we proud of? Right? So we have Deti Okadana. When we talk about anatta, when we understand anatta very clearly, we can overcome wrong view easily. This is for Vipassana practitioners. Okay, this means different part of nature dukkha. There will be different types of removal. Okay.
Thank you.
So question 27. Dear Sayadaw, please Sayadaw advise this sentence idampi buddhe ratanam. Buddha mean in this sentence is Buddha Gautama or past and future Buddha. Sayadaw, thank you very much.
Actually, when we say Buddha, generally, don't analyze too much, right? It should be Buddha. They have the same quality. For example, we may talk about Buddha's quality. Okay, when we talk about Varo, Vararo, right? Varo, excellent, superior. All the Buddha are superior. Whether Tipangara Buddha or Karma Buddha or Mangala Buddha, any Buddha, the same. Right? Also, Varado, the giver of Nibbana. All the Buddha do the same. They give Nibbana to the people. It doesn't mean they hand over Nibbana, right? They train people to attain Nibbana. It will be the same. That's why when we talk about Bodhi Ratnam, it can be any Buddha. Don't analyze unnecessary things, right? Okay, so we will start chanting. Starting with Namo Tassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Yanita Bhutani Samagatani Bhumani wa yani wa andalike Sabbe wa Bhuta Sumana Bhavantu Atrobi Sakaja Sunandu Basitam Dasamahi Bhutani Sametha Sabbe Metam Garota Manusiya Bachaya Jiva Charato Chaharandi Ye Baling Dasamahi Nirakata Apamatam Yankin Jividam Ida Wahu Ramwa Sakhesu Vayam Ratanam Banitam Nano Saman Ati Tathagatena Idambi Buddhe Ratanam Banitam Etena Satjena Suvati Hotu Kayam Viragam Amadam Banitam Yarajaka Sakyamuni Samahido Nadena Dhammena Samati Kinji Idam Bidhamme Ratanam Banitam Edena Satjena Suvati Hodu Yambura Sitto Parivanayi Suchin Samadhi Manandari Kanyamahu Samadhi Nadena Samona Vijati Idam Bidhamme Ratanam Banitam Edena Satjena Suvati Hodu Ye Bukala Atta Satam Basatha Chattari Etani Yukani Hondi Te Dakhi Neya Sukatasa Savaka Ete Sudhinani Mahaphalani Idam Bi Samghe Ratanam Banitam Edena Satjena Suvati Hodu Yesu Bayuta Manasa Dhanlena Nikami no Godama Sasanami Te Bati Bata Amadam Vikahya Ladha Mudha Niputim Bunja Mana Idam Bi Samghe Ratanam Banitam etena sajena subati hodu yatinta kilo batavisi dosiya jatubi vadehi asambakambiyo tatu bamam saburisam vadami yo ariya sajani awaja basati idam bisam gheratanam vanitam etena sajena subati hodu ye ariya sajani vibhavayanti gambira panyena sudhe sitani kinchapite hundi busambamata nate bhavam atamamadhiyanti idam bisam gheratanam vanitam etena sajena subati hodu Sahawasa dasana sambadaya dayasu dhamma jahida bhavanti sakaya ditti vitikichi tanja sila badam vapi yadati kinji jatu apayehi cha vipamudo chacha bithanani ababakadu idambi samgheratanam vanitam etena sajena subati hodu kincha biso kama karoti papakam kayena vacha udache dasawa ababaso dasabati chataya ababada dhita badasa uda idambi samgheratanam vanitam etena sajena subati hodu Vana bagumbe yata pusitaghe Nghimana mase batama saminghe Tatu bamam dhamma varam adesi Nibbana gamim baramam hidaya Idambi buddhe ratanam banidam Etena sajena suvati hodu Varo varanyu varado varaharo Anudaro dhamma varam adesi idambi buddhe ratanam vanidam etena sajena suvati hodu khinam buranam navanati sambhavam virada jidayati ke bhavasami dekhina bija aviruni chanda Nipandi dhira yatayam badibo idambi sangheratanam vanidam etena sajena suvati hodu yanita bhutani samagatani bhummani vayani va andalikhe dathagatam deva manusa bhujitam buddham namasama suvati hodu Yanita bhutani samagatani bhummani vayani va andalikhe tathagatam deva manusa bhujitam dhammam namasama suvati hodu Yanita bhutani samagatani bhummani vayani va andalikhe tathagatam deva manusa bhujitam Sangam namasama suvati hodu Ratanasutta Chanting Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.